I'm guessing that this show is either 1 or 2 for you. It's number 1 for me, The Leftovers. Number 2, man, I fucking love The Leftovers. I'm so glad you caught up. Give me your thoughts on it.
I caught up the whole series in like 3 weeks.
Way too quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, I basically I basically ran season 1 right back into season 2, more or less. It was an easier show to catch up on because it's only 28 episodes total. Obviously, season 3 aired, was it May and June of this year on HBO, from Damon Lindelof, of course, creator of Lost. And yeah, I think The Leftovers season 3 really builds on the momentum of season 2, which kind of reestablished the show after a season 1 that was so morose, so opaque, so without levity that many people just absolutely loathed season 1. Season 2, especially by the end, well, I mean, they go to Jordan, Texas, and change of scenery, much more interesting visuals.
Yep.
The characters continue to get fleshed out, and then by the time you get to was it episode 8, International Assassin, an episode that's just so insane. And so I'm so happy it exists because season 3 gives you a sequel to that. In was it episode 7 of season 3? The Man on Earth. What was it called?
Yeah, the most powerful man on Earth and his twin.
Yes. I mean, that writer's room and Damon Lindelof, they get so much credit just because
so creative.
It's not just that they have great performances. Obviously, they do. Carrie Coon.
Justin Theroux.
Carrie Coon's performance as Nora Durst is a pantheon performance for television. But the writers really get a lot of credit because the way they make you care about these characters, but they also do everything that's so unpredictable, and I find the show so personal, especially by the end, and it really makes you question a lot of stuff. And it's an easy comp, but when I watched it, and I read a lot, I engaged with a lot of criticism as I was catching up on the show, trying to catch up with how people thought as I went, and I was like, wow, this is the anti-Westworld. It's literally the opposite. There's not a lot of plot. There's not a lot of exciting things happen. And what they do have is intriguing characters that have arcs, something Westworld was totally without in season 1. And Leftovers Reddit isn't like, how did they depart? Are we going to get the answers? Of course, you're not getting the fucking answers. You should have known that from the start. And people that stick with Leftovers are smart enough to understand that. And then in the Book of Nora, the finale, when Nora drops a bomb on Kevin at the very end, and Kevin's like, I believe you. And then it's like, oh shit. Do I as the viewer, do I believe Nora? That changes no matter who you talk to. And I think that makes it such a beautiful way to end the show.
Right. And the thing is, if you think about it, because it was like that final episode for a show that was talking about, 2% of the world's population leaving and basically how people deal with their reactions to that. And she's talking about this like this huge, like, I don't know, like you said, it's a bomb. And it's not really even about if you believe her or Kevin believes her. It's more about like, this is a show about you. It's about like how you deal with these situations, how you trust people, how you understand grief. And it's perfect ending. It basically tied up all the other characters before as best as they could, and the ones that you really cared about. And it brings you back to the two main characters and says, this is what it is, and we're gonna let you figure it out from here. And that's why Lindelof is such a fucking genius, dude, because he literally ended the show that shouldn't have even gotten this far with like perfect, most ambiguous ending, or it could be the most non-ambiguous ending depending on how you take it.
Right. Yeah, I think The Leftovers, middling season 1 is included, it's probably one of the greatest shows of all time. I think that's pretty consensus at this point.
Yeah, at least among critics.
Yeah, and Damon Lindelof is adapting Watchmen right now for HBO. We don't have an official season order on that yet, but he's working on it. And by golly, is that exciting just because of, his reputation as a creator. I mean, simple as that. I mean, I really am happy for him too, because he got a lot of shit pretty unjustly over the way Lost ended, because Lost was kind of the anti-Westworld. It was a show where people only cared about the mystery,
Mhm.
and it was the original water cooler show, et cetera. Not to retread on Lost, but the fact that he was able to
Did Lost make your list?
I've never seen Lost, to be honest.
Me neither.
He's able to redeem himself with something so fantastic, and
Personal. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And
Human.
I mean, if you appreciate writing, if you appreciate acting,
Watch
this is
Lost.
probably this is the best show of the year for that, and worth catching general because again, it's one of the best shows of all time.